To just share a few things. March 11th, Coffee and Conversations will hit its first year anniversary. So thank you for all of your faithfulness for this last year. And I thought I was sleeping in this morning, and I had to get up and just kind of start working or further working on the vision or on the next assignment. And I just kind of wanted to encourage some of you for with your own things, with the things that you've been planning, with the visions that you have for yourself. A lot of times when we start talking about purpose or vision, we think it has to be all this spooky, spiritual kind of thing. And God has just placed a desire or a dream inside of all of us. And some of you cannot even sleep without waking up to this dream. Well, the thing that you wake up and you think about when you wake up in the morning, and the thing that you wake up and that you think about before you go to sleep, that's the thing that you're supposed to be doing. And some of you think about multiple things, like you may have multiple businesses inside of you. And a lot of times we're not doing what we love or what we're assigned to do. I kind of knew Coffee and Conversations was inside me. I did not know that it was really a part of what I wanted to do in life. And so I didn't, when I pursued it, I kind of pursued it haphazardly. Now that I'm doing it, now that this is what I know is a part of the dream and the vision that God has for me, it's a part of the kingdom, it's a part of the territory that I'm supposed to rule. My perspective about it is different. But I also have multiple businesses in me, but which also brings me to another point of I'm supposed to have multiple partnerships. And we'll talk about that in a minute. A lot of times we don't understand the plan or what's for us. And so we kind of just trek through life, living kind of any kind of way. But there is something so deeply deposited in you that's screaming, pick me, choose me, choose me. And some of you are so paralyzed by fear that you won't move into what you need to move into because you're afraid of what people think. You're afraid of what people are going to say. You're still waiting on people to give you permission for what's supposed to happen next. And God has already given you permission for it. Like, you don't need permission from anybody to do what's inside of you. God has already gave you permission for it. But this world system will teach you that you need someone's blessing. You need to be connected to someone. You need to sell yourself out. You need permission from someone for you to move forward. And you don't need permission from anyone for you to move forward. God has already provided you with every opportunity that's for you. He's just waiting on you to tap in and connect to what he's telling you. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as prophet of the nation. So if you're not walking into the fullness of what God calls you to walk into, you're your only hindrance. There is not one person that can keep you from walking into the fullness of what you're supposed to walk into. And so a lot of time we're sitting around waiting on somebody to give us permission to be what we were already called to be. If he formed you from the beginning, then you're already called to be that. You don't need somebody to sign a document to say that's who you are. You don't need somebody to write off, to call you out. You don't have to do it. All you have to do is get locked in to the vision and pursue the kingdom, pursue the assignment. When you pursue the assignment, you want me to show you what God showed me? I'm a huge Marvel Comics fan. And so Iron Man, anytime he's walking, the suit begins to attract to him, right? When you're walking in kingdom, everything that is supposed to attract to you will begin to attract. It's gonna come for you. You don't really even have to pursue it. You only have to be in pursuit of the king. You have to be in pursuit of God's very best for you. But a lot of times we won't get in pursuit of God's best because we've settled for a perspective that isn't even our perspective. And don't mess up. Don't mess up. If you're a person to mess up, you're so bound by your shame and your past mistakes, you won't walk in what you're supposed to walk in because you're still afraid about whether or not somebody is going to find out about you. You're still thinking, okay, somebody might find out about my past mistakes. Somebody might find out about my addiction. Somebody might find out about what I used to do. And God is saying, let me raise you up a level. We're not messed up about where you used to be and where you used to go and what you used to do. What I'm trying to get you to do is connect to the bigger plan, because we are all interrelated, interconnected, or interdependent upon each other. But the problem is most of us don't understand that. So I just want to tell you a few things this morning. Be persistent in what you want to go after. This morning, I thought I was going to get to sleep in. But if I'm going to really get about this thing, if I'm really going to become this thing, then I have to be persistent. No matter what, I have to be persistent. I have to be faithful to my own vision. I have to be faithful to what I've been called to do. Nobody else is going to be persistent about what you want to do if you don't believe in what you want to do. When I started believing in coffee and conversations, when my friends knew that I was dead set on doing this, then they began to get in place and support what I was doing because they knew I was sold out to it. Absolutely, no matter what. They knew I was sold out to this. It's same thing for school. I told one of my sons when he decided he was going to go to college, I said, you need to decide whether or not college is for you. And then I'm going to support you in this as much as I possibly can. But if you don't show me this is what you believe in, this is what you want to do, it's going to be very hard for me to support you in something that you don't believe in. And so it's hard for me to support a person in business when they don't even show me that they really believe in their business, or they don't really show me that they believe in their purpose, or they don't really show me that they believe in their dream. The great Michael Jordan, LeBron James, all of these people, Steve Jobs, everybody that became great because they pursued, they were persistent, and they were faithful. They were faithful to what they were called to do. They believed in it when nobody else believed in it. They moved toward it when nobody else. They didn't sit around waiting on somebody to validate and tell them that it's okay for you to pursue what you want to pursue. They had a dream in them, and then they began to figure out the components of what needed to be connected to the dream. They began to figure out the partnerships of who needed to be connected to the dream, and they begin to pursue that with whatever in them. And sometimes we'll sit around with sour faces or like sour pusses because people around us are moving, making moves, and things are happening for them. But things are happening for them because they've made a decision to go after what's in them no matter what. So you got to make sure that you stay persistent and that you be consistent. I see brands fail all the time. I see new people start businesses on social media, right? They'll start their business and then you don't ever see them post again. You don't ever see them building their brand. I wear you out on social media. The reason I wear you out on social media is because I believe in what I do. I know what I'm called to do. I'm called to restore people. I'm called to help people discover their dreams. I'm called to help marriages and families come together. I know what I'm called to do. And so I pursue that every day because I want to see people get healthier, because I want to see families survive, because I want to see people live their dreams, because I want to see people tap into their purpose. I'm called to that. I know exactly what I'm called to do. I'm called to get women healthy. I know that I'm called to let women see a healthy perspective of themselves. I know what I'm called to do. And since I know what I'm called to do, it's easy for me to stay focused. The only time you can't stay focused if you don't really believe in yourself. Like, I can tell when people don't believe in themselves because they're not constantly pursuing what they tell me they want to do. When you really believe what you tell me, then you'll pursue it with everything in you. And so somebody texted me yesterday and they were like, have you seen Black Panther? And I'm like, I haven't seen Black Panther. And the reason I haven't is because I've been so focused. I'm focusing on something every day, a different part of the vision every day. And I attended the Power Conference this weekend. It's made me even more focused. The other thing that I want to tell you is be strategic. Be strategic. Ask God for the strategies for this. If he told you to design something, there's a strategy for it. If he knew you, if he formed you, if he had purpose for you, then there's already a strategy for what it is you want to do. And don't be afraid to connect to other people. I do not understand people who won't share with people how they got there. I don't understand. There's enough money out here for all of us, right? There's enough vision. You cannot hinder my dream. You cannot hinder my vision. You cannot keep me from what's supposed to happen for me because God already destined and ordained me. So go start a video or go start a blog or go do whatever you're supposed to do that's for you because it's not going to hinder what I have to do, period. And what I'm going to do is keep sharing with you, keep building you up, keep giving you the keys to my success so that you could be successful too. I remember years ago, somebody wanted to start a sickle cell organization. And someone was like, somebody else is trying to start a sickle cell organization. I don't care. Because here's the thing I also understand about kingdom. If they get in position and they start the sickle cell organization, then that's less work for me to have to do. That's less work for me to have to do. So it's not another sickle cell organization. Good. I got a co-laborer in this. I have someone else that can labor in this and help me get the goal, the overall goal of building people up, getting people. But we so afraid and we have such a worldly mindset. We're so divided because we have such a wrong perspective. We're competitive when we don't have to be competitive. We can't reach the things we want because we're too busy watching someone else when you need to stay in your own lane. So be strategic. Every day you need to get up with a set of strategies of how do I accomplish my goals? How do I accomplish my goal? How do I form partnerships? Who are the people that I'm supposed to be connected to so that we can make it happen? Somebody may have $100,000. Somebody else may have $75,000, but together we have $175,000. And the pastor talked about that last night. We're not in competition in this thing. When it says Jeremiah 29:11, I know the plans that I have for you. My plans don't change because your plans look like my plans. My plans don't change. And so a lot of times we're not pursuing purpose and God has put something in us because we're like, oh my gosh, somebody is already doing t-shirts. It doesn't matter if somebody else is already doing t-shirts. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Find your t-shirts design. Find what you're supposed to do. Somebody else, it doesn't matter. Or find where you connect to somebody else. It may be that you're not supposed to start a new ministry. It may be that you're supposed to plug into someone else's ministry business. It may be that you're supposed to be over a division in someone else's stuff, that you're supposed to submit your gift to that area. That's influence. That's where you make impact. It's nothing wrong with that. But if you're so prideful and you don't know how to connect to the people around you because pride has set in, because you have a worldly perspective of how we're supposed to do, a kingdom mindset looks for people to connect to. A kingdom mindset looks for strategies every day. A kingdom mindset is not focused on what's not working. It's focused on how to get it working. Gary Vee is one of the people that I follow on Instagram, and he said something the other day that really stuck with me. He said 99% of the stuff that you think matters doesn't matter. I don't waste a lot of conversation. I don't waste a lot of time. I don't. My friends will tell you that. When I feel like I waste time, I pull back and I get focused. And the reason I don't waste a lot of conversation and a lot of time is because 99% of the stuff that you think matters does not matter. It does not matter. You're focused on stuff that really doesn't matter. And God is trying to call you up to a higher level or call you up to a place for you to tap into you're focused on what size jeans you wear. And he's trying to give you a whole closet full of different, it's stuff that doesn't matter. Or you're focused on who doesn't like you. Or you're too focused on who your competition. I'm my only competition. I'm my only competition, and I'm only competing with being better than I was the day before. I don't spend a lot of time looking at what other people are doing. I don't unless it's somebody I'm using as a mentor to media mentor me. Then I'll start looking at what they're doing so that I can begin to develop myself to a higher level. The other thing that you do is you got to stop evaluating yourself because your self-evaluations are failing you. Your self-evaluations are failing you. If no one can tell you anything, if you don't have anybody connected to you to help groom you, if nobody can share with you what they're seeing. I had a friend of mine who talked to me one time about having my phone in my hand when I was doing interviews. And I said to her, I said, first of all, ask questions. Why did I have my phone in my hand? But she was talking about how my phone in my hand was distracting to my viewers. So I took what she said as constructive criticism. I did not get offended. I did not get upset. I said to her, you need to ask questions. Ask why I have my phone. Because typically on Coffee and Conversations, my phone is in my hand so that Jess can talk to me in case something is wrong, right? But now we have clues and things that we use. But as my friend, I allowed her to groom me because she noticed something that was distracting my viewers. She doesn't have a live show. She doesn't aspire to do what I do, but she has some feedback. So you can't be in a position where you're always self-evaluating because your self has bad information. And because your self has bad information, it'll evaluate you at a standard and a level that has nothing to do with your purpose. That has nothing to do. It'll evaluate you based on bad things. It'll evaluate you based on worldly perspective. It'll evaluate you from a place and a position that has absolutely nothing to do with your purpose. It'll be evaluating you in a wrong or an old mindset. We're supposed to be thinking kingdom. We're supposed to be thinking strategically. We're supposed to be thinking territory. And if we're not thinking strategically, kingdom mindset and territory, yourself will evaluate you based on old information. Or yourself will evaluate. You'll think you achieve it. Oh, I thought I was doing good. And God is saying, come up a level. I have mentors. I have people that I connect to. I'm watching people in media. I'm watching people every day. I'm looking at my vision. I'm revisiting the vision. Because here's the other thing. Stuff changes in seasons. Stuff will change for you in seasons. And if you're not paying attention to the changes, then you'll miss the move of God. But the only reason you miss the move of God is because you don't know his voice and you're not spending enough time connected to him. You got to pursue kingdom no matter what. I'm not going to even talk to you necessarily about pursuing purpose because your purpose is kingdom. You got to find out what kingdom is. How do I connect in kingdom? What's my territory to rule and reign? And get after it with everything in you. Stop waiting on people to validate and approve you. Take the classes. Find the people. And then don't connect to something you're not supposed to. I was looking at my vision and I took on an assignment that I wasn't even supposed to take on. And God told me this morning, I said, how come I'm having a problem executing? I never have a problem executing. And he said to me, he said, LMJ, I never told you to do that. You felt compassion towards something. That's not your mountain or your sphere of influence. And so I committed to do something that's not even my sphere of influence. So now I got to go and apologize to someone because it looks like I failed through on something I told them I was going to do. But it's not that. It's the fact that I didn't have the capacity to do it anyway. But because I know pride doesn't ever win for you, I've got to go put myself in a position to say, hey, I'm sorry. I wasn't even supposed to be here and doing this anyway. Let me do what God told me to do. And then let me believe God for you, for the right people to connect to you. Like those are the things that we're going to do if we're getting ready to see God move. God is simply waiting on you. Like he's waiting on you to build. I watch people start stuff and stop all the time. And I know they're starting and stopping because they don't believe in themselves. Like, that's why I try to tell people all the time, I really want you to get connected to Coffee and Conversations. I really want you to get connected to what we're doing in ministry, because I'm a builder. That's my assignment here on this earth, to build you and get you where you need to. But a lot of people will assume, I don't want your vision. I'm not trying to take over your vision. I'm not trying to tell you what's wrong with you. I'm a builder. That's who God assigned me to be in this kingdom, to build, to execute, to help design, to help plant you in your place, to help you discover your place. I'm a builder. I'm a healer. That's another part of who I am. I help heal. I help get people connected so that they can get healed and get where they need to go. That's a part of who I am. That's a part of building, and healing is a part of who I am. That's why I had to do Pillow Talk, so women can get healthy and get set free and walking in their kingdom. That's why I had to do Coffee and Conversation, so I could help build you up so that you could be strong and understand who you are and your purpose. That's part of my assignment and my call to this word. And it comes through so many means and so many streams and so many places. But so many of us have so many fears of people that when the builders and the healers and the people that are the administrators try to connect to us, we're so fearful, and we don't even understand how God is assigning people to us. If you tell me you ain't got but one close person in your life, then you're probably not connected to everybody you're supposed to connect to. If you're not connected to people, if you're not isolated, then I'm telling you, you're fearful. And we know that fear, if you have fear and faith don't mix. And so there's holes in your vision, because you won't connect to the people that you're supposed to connect to. See, I understand kingdom in such a way, even as I am building, right? I'm building with space for my husband, if that makes sense. Because I know I will have to be what he needs me to be also. But that's a kingdom mindset. That's because I understand who this Proverbs 31 woman is. That's why I'm telling you, you've got to pursue kingdom. You've got to understand what kingdom says about you. You've got to understand what kingdom says about your vision. You've got to understand and get that, so that everything connected to your life can be a success. When I saw the man of God last night, it confirmed for me everything God was already telling me. He was talking to me about everything kingdom. God had already started me talking about kingdom months ago. He was on me about kingdom. He was talking to me about kingdom. Get connected to kingdom. He was on me again and again about kingdom. And so this has to be the mindset, that you develop the mindset of the kingdom, pursuing. Can I show you something? It says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart, lean not into thy own understanding, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. When you put your trust and your system in God, then he begins to direct your path. When you're focused on him, he begins to direct your path. If you keep your eyes set on him, everything that is supposed to connect to you like a magnet will connect to you, because that's kingdom. The man of God the other day said, if you will build, and I started thinking about the movie Field of Dreams, when he started building the field, he said, if you will build, they will come. That's what Field of Dreams. If you will build, the money will come, the resources will come, the partnerships will come. Your mate, some of you are looking for a mate, but you're not building. And if you build, your mate will come. Your mate will come. The things will connect. People, it will be like Legos. Stuff will start connecting to you that's supposed to connect to you. But that's because you have a mindset of kingdom. I have a strategy. I have a purpose. God, not spending all this time on your past. Your past is a waste of time. Your past is a waste of time. Spending time back on your past is a waste of time. I don't spend a lot of time rehearsing even the good things in my past. I accomplished this. High five. We've reached a year. High five. What's next? I want to suggest 2 books for you to read. I want to suggest 2 books. One, I want you to read The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. It's not a very long book, but this book changed my life. The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. Get the book. He's going to show you that the only thing that's keeping you from reaching your vision, your goal, and what you have is you. The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. The other book that I want to suggest that you get, right? I want to suggest that you get Releasing Your Brilliance by Simon T. Bailey. This book will help you so y'all can stop building fake selves. Some of you have built a fake you, and it's not even who you are. Like, it's not even who you are. You're acting the part according to this world system, and that is not who you are. And God is saying to you, that's not even who you are. Some of you have minimized and watered yourself down because the church told you that that wasn't cool, and that's not who you are. Right? It's okay for you to be beautiful. The man of God confirmed something. I'm very shapely, and it's okay for me to be shapely, right? It's okay for me to be that. But the church taught us to hide ourselves because they said it wasn't godly. Well, if I'm built really shapely, why do I need to hide myself if God designed me this way? It doesn't mean I'm not modest. It doesn't mean I'm not whatever. But why do I have to hide my beauty? Why do I have to hide my full lips? Why do I have to hide anything if I'm already designed that way? But when you have wrong perspective, you'll hide yourself. You'll hide yourself. You'll hide yourself because you don't even know who you are. Only time we start hiding ourselves is because we don't know who we are. You don't know who you are. Anytime you try to sit in, I made one of my friends, we were at church the other day, and she was sitting in the back, right? She was sitting in the back. And as she was sitting in the back, I said, you need to move to the front. You don't have to hide anymore. She was hiding herself. You don't have to hide anymore. Come out from your hiding places and become all that God calls you to be. Come out from your hiding places. Stop hiding behind your past hurt, your past pain. Stop hiding who you are. The world, you look, that's the problem with looking for affirmation. Who does God say you are? That's all you got to tap into. So if you have a dream or a vision, ask God for the strategy. Be persistent. The second book is Releasing Your Brilliance by Simon T. Bailey. Ask God for the strategy. Ask him for the information. Plug into people. Stop not plugging into people. We got some things coming up for women that my best friend and I are going to do together to help you tap into your potential. You got to I'm not finna have information and not share it with you. You can't damper my success. You can't stop Coffee and Conversations. Nobody can stop it. It's God's plan for me. You can't stop Yo Girl Inc. You can't stop LMJ Ministries. You can't stop LaKisha M. Johnson, LLC. You can't stop my vision. You can get in position and tap into it. You can get into the position of who I am and let me help you. And let your pride get aside so that I can help you be what you need to be, because that's what God called me to be, to this kingdom, to this world. Some of you will avoid a person that has what they need to deposit in you because it doesn't fit right, because it doesn't feel right, because you're not used to dealing with people. Isolation is a trick of the enemy. That's what he wants you to do. To isolate yourself, to not tap in, let pride. Anytime you start talking about how you can't deal with people, how you don't need people, how you can be alone by yourself, you are in pride and you are foolish. The scripture says wisdom comes in the multitude of counsel. If you don't have a counsel that you're associated and tied to, you're operating in foolery. And that opens up the opportunity for the enemy to get you. That's just what it is. Find resources. If you're going to pursue, today I was going to lay in. I'm up working on the vision. What do I want the next year to look like for Coffee and Conversations? What do I want the next year for Pillow Talk to look like? I'm working on the vision. I'm talking about, I'm going to build it. He's going to bring the resources. I'm going to build it. He's going to bring the resources. I'm building the entity because some of y'all have a piece of this to run. It's just for me to build it and then get you in place. A conglomeration of women who are kingdom mindset, who are taking back their communities, who are changing their world. That's what God led and brought me to. That's why I've been through so much, because there's pretty much not much that I can't share with you or that I haven't experienced. That's what kingdom mindset, that I won't leave you behind if I know I'm supposed to be connected to you. I'm not going to leave you. But if you get afraid and you won't gleam in my fields and you won't connect to me because you intimidated about, I ain't got nothing to do with you. Because you intimidated about what God is doing for me, you're missing the opportunity to be built, to be restored, and to get what you need. That's why some of y'all need to get to Pillow Talk. You need to get connected at Pillow Talk. That's the detox. And then coffee and conversations helps with the build. I think that's it. I don't know if I need to even say much more today. Melissa, it's in you. It's the thing that you think about. Does anybody have any questions? Today is the perfect day to ask me questions. I'm not moving quickly. God's vision for you is in you, and I'm going to pray that you see yourself as beautiful, baby. That you see yourself the way God sees you. You've been so marked by your scars and torn by the things. You need to see yourself as beautiful. You need to see yourself as successful. I'm believing, God, that you will have His vision for you and nothing less. You're struggling because you don't believe that God says what He says about you. And He says it over and over again. Melissa, I love you. Melissa, you're not your past. Melissa, you're not the person that you used to be. You are a good mom. You are a successful wife. You are an amazing woman. You are very gifted. You are bright. You are intelligent. You are not walking around in what you used to be. You are the Melissa I created you now to be. All you have to do is say, you know what? That's why I told you got to confess over yourself daily. You got to believe in yourself daily. You got to say to yourself daily. You got to do it. You got to do it. Like you got to do it. You got to understand how great He thinks about you. How much He thinks about you. Malika, the next Pillow Talk is in San Diego. The next Pillow Talk is in, hey, I have Pillow Talk teens coming up. I need 5 more of you to sponsor teens. I don't want any teen to have to pay for this Pillow Talk, but we have to feed them. We have the journals. We have other stuff. I need 5 more of you to sponsor for Pillow Talk teen. I don't want any teen to have to pay for Pillow Talk. And I've almost got enough sponsors. I need 5 more of you to sponsor a teen for Pillow Talk and get a teen connected. I need 5 more sponsors for Pillow Talk so that we can make sure these young ladies get what they need so that they can get out on the course that they need. I started Coffee and Conversations Ladies Bible Study, right? Moment of transparency. Ross said, I used to be so intimidated by other women until I was able to accept that I am who God says I am. But I would avoid connecting with other women that I felt would put shine on me. Ross, that's big. That's big. You're not the only one. There's so many women that do that. Do you know I can see when people are afraid of me or intimidated by me, and I'm just LMJ. I'm just pursuing God's purpose. And if you ever get connected to me, you'll find out how easy I am. Like how easy I am. I used to be intimidated by other women until I figured out they put their panties on like I do too, or don't, whatever. It don't matter. And then when I began to accept who I was and how I was, and understand God uniquely designed my hair, my everything for His glory, it changed my perspective of connecting to people. And when I walk in the room, I walk in the room in a different level of confidence because I believe what God said about me and not people. My gift of discernment is real strong. I can tell when people don't like me or they're intimidated or they're fearful of me because they have this look in their face or they're apprehensive. But I also have something I confess over myself. You may not like me at first, but at the end of the day, you're going to love me. And the reason that you're going to love me, because my only goal is to love you. I'm not trying to figure out how wrong you are. I'm not trying to measure you by my standard of Christ. My only goal is to love everybody I'm connected to. To love everybody I'm connected to help them heal, to help them get better, to help them build, and to help them reach their future. That's the core of everything that I am. That's the core of me. If somebody ever tell you something different about LMJ, they lying. I'm working out the petty places in me so I can love you. That's all God asked me to do, to love you. And because I know how to love myself, and because I love myself, it's easy for me to love you even in your funky places. It's easy for me to accept you back. When people write statuses talking about, I forgive, but I don't forget, that ain't kingdom. You're supposed to restore a person even when they wrong you. That's kingdom. That's the world's perspective. You're supposed to if a person hated on you, bless that person. You're supposed to help them. You're supposed to help them. When I see somebody hating on me, I bless them. When I see somebody funky on me, I'll send you a gift. Why? Because that breaks up anything in me, and that lets me remain and continue to act like Christ. We got to have kingdom. What does the word say about this? We got to be in love. We got to be in compassion. All this mess we got going on, that ain't God. That ain't God. Yep, ask him for the courage. God, ask him for the courage. Danielle Long, I use Romans 8:28. For all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord. Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans you have for me, right? And so I ask him for those plans. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord and with all my heart. Lean not into my own understanding. Those are the things that I use to keep me focused. Let this mind be in you that's in Christ Jesus. That's another scripture. Let me find that. It's Philippians 2:5. Let the same mind. Can you talk a little bit about dealing with rejection and how to handle it? I definitely can. Let me tell you something. Rejection is really hard for us. And the reason that it's hard for us is because most of us are looking for acceptance in the wrong thing, right? And so we are looking for acceptance in people or acceptance in systems that weren't even designed for us. And I know it's hard when you expect that your mom or your dad would not reject you, right? Rejection as an infant is the worst thing ever, right? Rejection as an infant is the worst thing ever. And so when those things happen, rejection is just realistically somebody refuses the idea of you. They refuse the idea of you. They reject what you're trying. They decline you. They don't accept you. One of the things you have to remember, especially if rejection occurs when you were younger, is that the person that probably rejected you didn't really know how to receive you. And so if you were abandoned as a kid by your parents, it's probably because they didn't have the capacity to be able to deal with you. They didn't have the capacity. And I know that sounds crazy, but they really didn't have the capacity. So if a parent gave you up for adoption, instead of you seeing it as the worst thing ever, they probably did the best thing for you. They probably did the best thing for you. But we see, because we don't understand our identity, we receive rejection as being wrong. And sometimes rejection really isn't. It's really because the person didn't have the capacity to be able to accept or to be able to deal with you. That is why I say you have to leave the door open for restoration, because somebody didn't have the capacity to deal with you in one phase of life doesn't mean that the person doesn't have the capacity to deal with you later in life. And so when we don't understand why a person is rejecting us, we feel like it's so horrible, and it does feel horrible, but it's because the person didn't have the capacity to deal with you or to receive you. And so what I've learned to do is turn it on the other person and take it off me. So instead of me internalizing it like something is wrong with me, I put it on the other person and say there is something wrong with or there's something going on with them that I have nothing to do with it. So if they didn't receive me, if the divorce came, if the person walked out, it has absolutely necessary. Now, I'm not saying you don't have things that you contributed to it. And that's why I say you have to get in a place to allow the Holy Spirit to evolve, to evaluate you, and allow other people to evaluate you, so that you can take ownership for the things that you caused, right? That you can take ownership. But if you're in a healthy place and someone rejects you, that's not on you, that's on the person. They just don't have the capacity to see you. And so a lot of times people don't get the love that they need from the people that are coming to them, because God always provides a surrogate, and people don't get what they need for a surrogate, right? A surrogate, because it doesn't look like necessarily what you were looking for, but God will give you sisterhood even if your sisters fail you. God will give you supplemental parents who are trying to love you, but you're so focused on the one moment that you were rejected that you won't even receive what they have for you. And so God will connect you to sisterhood or to other people who are there to love you, but you won't receive their love because you don't even understand really what love is. Like, I love intensely, and because people have been wrong, I'm just being real. And I'm not saying I love perfectly, but I love intensely. But because people have never received the level of love that I give, then when I give it, they think something is wrong with me, but they've actually been loved wrong all along. Like, they've been loved wrong all along. Patrice says, I have a disconnect spirit because of past hurts from things women have done to me in social circles. Now, yeah, but that's not necessarily, I get that, Patrice, but that's not necessarily God, because if God is trying to connect you to the right people and you have your wall of defense up and you're not sensitive enough to hear what he's telling you, you'll miss the opportunity for your connectors. You've got to forgive them and let that go, because I'm not them. I'm not them. I'm not them. I'm not designed like them. And everybody that connects like to the Bible study has learned that there's a spirit connected to my ministry or connected to me that allows you to be transparent and be in a safe place. Demi, we're going to talk about that. I want to talk to you about that, because a lot of times self is God. Your dreams that are in you are God. I'm going to have to catch this on a replay too. I missed 40 minutes and I need this because I have rejection issues myself. And Melina, we just started having talking about rejection. I'm going to log off in just a minute because I got to get to business. Are there any other questions? Are there any other things you want to talk about? Are there even any topics you want to see me bring up that we can deal with at Pillow Talk? We're definitely open for those. When you deal with rejection, it's hard to connect. Rejected people deal with life at a deficit. Yep, and that's the problem. When you're dealing with life in a deficit place, right? It puts you in a place of toxicity, but that's also because you don't really understand the measure of God's love. Is it pure? Is it lovely? Is it of good report? God is never going to have you disconnected from people. People will have you disconnected. Your perception about what love is will have you disconnected. Can I tell you something? God's love is you filled with God's love through people. But if you don't allow the people to connect to you, you won't get to experience God's love. The right people will connect to you. None of you physically come in contact with God. You come in contact with his kingdom. You come in contact with the people that you're supposed to come in contact with. Yeah, we're not going to get in that today, but I definitely want to talk about the spirit of competition. And the reason that I want to talk about the spirit of competition is because that ain't kingdom. You are not in competition with me. There's enough out here for everybody. You're not even supposed to be when women try to compete for a man. I'm not finna ever compete with you about no man, because who God assigned to me, you can't have him no way. You can't have him no way. I don't have to compete with you about my business, because it's not for you anyway. I ain't got to compete with you about no man, because if God signed him to me, you can't have him no way. You can pursue him. Y'all might get connected. Y'all might sleep together, but he'll come right back here, because that's who God can sign for me. Anything God has assigned for me, you can't compete with me about anyway. You're not in competition. I'm not in competition with you. As a matter of fact, I celebrate women so much. Like, I celebrate them at a whole different level. And the reason why is because I'm not in competition with you. That's a worldly mindset. That's a business mindset. That's not a kingdom mindset. And if we're ever going to be kingdom according to God's purpose and plan for us, you don't ever have to compete, because what's for you is for you. There's no competition assigned. I don't care how beautiful and how bad you are and how bougie you are. I'm rocking with you, because it don't matter. I don't look at my deficits. I look at my surpluses. The only time you compete is because you're comparing. And if you know who you are, you don't have to compare yourself to anybody else. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody else. if you know who you are. You're anointed for who and what you're anointed for, and nobody can take that from you. But a lot of times we think we're in competition. You just got to go. When people who are in sports, they just get out there and they do what they do to improve and beat themselves out every day. Not you, them. That's the reality and truth behind it. I don't spend a lot of time evaluating you. If something is in you I see and I like, I may say that's dope. But if it's not for me, I don't try to connect to it anyway. Because that's you. Some of y'all are gifted in doing things I can't do. I can't do them. Like, I don't have the gift of decoration. But somebody else does. I don't have a gift to write. Somebody else does. Not write an author books. Yep, I have that. So when you're confirmed in who you are, you don't worry about competition. When you confirm that the promises of God are yes and amen, you don't worry about competition. You get up every day to be the best you possible. That's what you do. That's what you focus on. That's what I focus on. How do I become the best me today? Stop looking at somebody else's hair, wishing you had their hair. You don't know what their problems are with their hair, or their makeup, or their skin, or their issues, or if they're almost about to kill themselves. Stop aspiring to have somebody else's life. The moment that you aspire to have your life and what you have, your life will change. Your energy will change when you're focused on who you were designed to be. People will draw to you when you're in your authentic self. That's why I told you to read the book by Simon T. Bailey, so that you can become your authentic you. Some of you are not even your authentic you. You're somebody else, designed by somebody else. God designed you, for him. You're designed by God, for you, for the glory of God, for you to fulfill your purpose on earth. That's it. That's what it is. That's it. I don't spend time paying. Roz has marriage ministry. Roz is beautiful, gorgeous. She has a blog, Style Your Life. She has an amazing marriage. She has all these things. I don't wake up in the morning saying I want to be Roz Warren, or I want to beat out Roz Warren. I wake up in the morning praying for Roz and trying to figure out how can she and I connect in the kingdom and make something happen. Who are my partners? Who are my connections? Who are the people that I need to connect to so that everything kingdom can be successful? That's how I get up thinking about Roz. That's how I get up thinking about other women and other people. How can I connect to them so that we can build businesses, build entities that are successful? That's how I get up thinking. I don't think about how somebody looked cute last night. I'm like, she was cute, that was cute. I like them shoes. Girl, where you get them shoes from? I'm going to get me a pair. And I'm not going to not tell you where I got something from, because I don't care. But that comes from spending time with God, knowing who I am, and being secure in my purpose. That's it. That competition comes because you don't know who you are and you're not secure in what you're doing. And whenever you become secure and sold out in what you're doing, you won't pay attention to what's in anyone else's lane anyway. Any athlete knows that if you're a ball player, you follow the ball, you don't follow the person. Your eye is on the ball. If you're a track, you don't look over in someone else's lane. You keep forward, because you're going to lose momentum. You're going to lose momentum. That's what pursuing kingdom is. I promise you it is. So do me a favor today. Write the vision again. When they told Habakkuk to write the vision and make it plain, do me a favor today. Write the vision again. Take some time today. Write the vision again. Write it again. Write the vision again. Because what might not have made sense may make sense now. Spend some time on you writing the vision again. The components. Ask God to show you the components for the vision. And He will. I promise you He will. Even if you're called to medicine. See, we keep taking God out of everything. You may be called to be a model. You may be called to be fashion design. Whatever it is, write the vision again. Don't make it so spooky spiritual. That's what's wrong with kingdom. It's religious and it's not spiritual. Don't make it spooky. Write the vision. Some of you have a vision in you that I need to connect to. But because you haven't written it, the angels can't put us in place and connect us. because you won't pursue it. You can't get connected. You can't get connected because you haven't written the vision for it. The write the vision, make it plain, and they will run with it is the supernatural of putting the connections in place. Today, I'm in the coffee shop writing the vision. You want to come connect to me? Come to Guillermo's and let me help you write the vision. I don't know. I'm just sitting here writing the vision today. I don't know how long I'll be here, but I'm here writing the vision today. I'm here putting the vision in place of what it needs to look like. And I'm not going to move until I feel like I've emptied out everything in me today so that I can be successful. Stop wasting time and operate in infinity. That's what this is about, to remind me of that we live in infinity. We don't live in time constraints. Everything is still possible. Well, that's it for today. I think that's enough coaching for today. I hope something that I said inspires you to go get after what you were called for. Jeremiah 1:5 is another scripture I use to keep me focused. Get after what you're called for. Get after it. And I promise it's going to start working for you. Go share this video with somebody, and I'll see you guys back Monday morning at 5 a.m. I will rise. I am going to do it more. I'm working on some things. Believe me, I'm going to do it more. I want to get into more coaching sessions so that I can help you guys reach your full potential. That's what I'm called to do on this earth. I'm called to do that, to help you reach your potential. I'm called to help you build. I'm called to help you get restored. I'm called to help you healed. And it comes out through all my businesses and all my ministry. Is it possible to have a vision with a group of women who never get together? Can I tell you something? It's almost impossible. You guys are going to have to connect. You have to connect physically. You got to learn how to connect through media. You got to connect consistently. I'm connected to everybody that I'm supposed to be almost daily. We talk about vision daily. We talk about where we're going daily. All my partners and connectors I connect to almost every day. And if y'all not connecting, those may not be the women that you're supposed to be connected to. I'm connected to the people connected to me daily. That's like being in a marriage. You can't be in a marriage and not spend time. You have to spend time on the vision, and you have to spend time with the people. You have to. I'm connected to my people daily. And that's not just business. We do social things together so that we have healthy relationships. This is my favorite sweatshirt. I got this from State Ministries, and it says "Powered by God," and that's definitely what I am, powered by God. Hey, don't forget, I need some of y'all. I wanna do Pillow Talk Teen, and no teen has to. I need 5 more of y'all to sponsor these girls so that their parents don't have to pay for it. So if you've heard from the Lord, you feel, go ahead and sponsor a girl for Pillow Talk Teen. Get connected to Pillow Talk San Diego. Some of y'all think you can't go, but you can go to San Diego. You can get hotel rooms. You can partner with every woman. You can catch flights. Go to San Diego. Go to San Diego. And then I have Pillow Talk the Weekend Edition. Pillow Talk the Weekend Edition only has 15 slots. It's a full weekend. It's your food. You got swag bags, t-shirts, coffee mugs. It is only 15 slots. The link is already out there. It's $300, but it'll be the best $300 you've spent on your life. I promise you that, because God shows up. Don't wait. Go on and get your spot reserved for Pillow Talk Weekend Addiction. That's in October. Once those spots are gone, they're gone. And you get me to yourself with other women for the entire weekend. So make sure you get connected to what we're doing. Coffee and Conversations Bible Study, Tuesday, here at Guillermo's Coffee Shop. God has been moving in this Bible study. We're working on a book called The Unveiled Wife. Roz and I are going to work on some other, they got marriage ministry. I have ministries that I partner with that can help you be all you can be. Canaan Christian Center, my church home. If you're looking for the next level of ministry, Body of Christ Worship Center, if you're looking for, these are my partners. We've partnered to make things happen in ministry. We've partnered to make things happen in business. Get connected. I promise you, you cannot be wrong for connecting to what God is doing with my ministry, with my businesses. I'm here for you. I'm not here for you to serve me. I'm here to serve you. I'm here so that you can reach the fullest potential of what God called you to do. So get connected. I love you guys. Invite somebody in to Coffee and Conversations Monday morning, right? Daily devotional 5 a.m. or catch me on YouTube. I'll see you guys back here Monday. Love, peace, and blessings. Go be loved today. I'll see you later. Peace.